How old is your favourite pattern? Though it's a favoured feature of Dior since the 1950s and the official brand code of Australian department store David Jones since 1963, the houndstooth print is actually thought to have originated as early as 360 AD in the Scottish lowlands. Seen on public figures from Beyoncé and Lady Gaga to both Catherine and Diana, Princesses of Wales, to the late Queen Elizabeth II, I decided it was high time I donned it myself.
The cut is quite Dior bar jacket new look, but it's not as extreme because it's cut to a size 10 to 12 and there aren't that many severe darts at the waist. I can't be bothered putting the skirt on right now because I'm in jeans, but it has a matching A-line skirt. I think it's cut as a circle skirt, but my extremely talented mother made this in the 90s along with a bunch of other Chanel and Dior style suit jackets and skirts out of fantastic fabric that she bought in Paris on her honeymoon. And yes, they don't deserve to be shut in the cupboard with mothballs, so I've taken this one home. I overthink every single purchase I make, including when I'm at the supermarket. And so when I saw this bag in H&M a few weeks ago, I thought about it for ages. It was probably over a month ago I first saw it, and I tried holding out thinking, okay, what can I wear it with? Will I get the use out of it? And it's $45 at H&M, and that's fine. It's not expensive as most bags go when people talk about bags and fashion, but I still hesitated because it was a fair amount. So then I realized I still wanted it and I bought it. But I still did the thing which I'm going to also talk about in another clip about keeping the receipt in the bag and not taking the tag off until the first time that I wear it. And something had told me, don't take the tag off just yet. So I thought, weird, okay. And as I was in Kmart, which is another budget retailer in Australia, more recently, I saw that they had an almost identical bag for $20. And I just went, oh, so being me, I thought about it for a while again and bought it to compare the two. And I'm actually quite surprised because the H&M bag is a lot floppier and the Kmart bag is a lot stiffer. So if I were to keep one of these, then the Kmart bag would be better for carrying my laptop and heavy work items to work. The main thing I wanted to do when buying both of the bags was basically just determine which bag went better with this jacket. And as you can see, they're all different colors. This is sort of slightly off-white white. This is a kind of cream white, partly due to age, the age of the fabric, and partly because of the wool fabrication. And this is blindingly white polyester. So I figured, okay, well, it would be a bit ludicrous to have both bags. I could afford it, but it would be a bit ludicrous. So I decided to compare the pair. The first thing I did was look at the pattern on each bag, because a detail which is often overlooked in the quality of a garment or an item is pattern matching and how the pattern on the fabric matches up with the seam on the garment. Basically, you look at the pattern and you see if it matches the overall outline and seams of the bag or the garment or whatever you're looking at. So with this jacket, for example, there is some curve of the fabric where it has to go for the seams, but overall, my mother did an excellent job matching all the fabric to each other, so it wasn't, it's a very grid pattern. So basically just matching the pattern to make sure it looks congruous. It's very hard to do this with striped fabric if you match the stripes exactly, things like that. It makes it quite tricky. So with this bag, I thought, okay, it's a very structured bag, it's a very structured pattern. So is the fabric wonky on it? And I did in fact find a little bit of wonkiness, I think, on the side here, where it starts to come down at the edge. So the white of the pattern ends here, but then as you go down the bag, it starts to reappear again, which means that it's slightly off. And same on the bottom here with the fabric here, it's the binding. It starts off all black here and then it starts to stretch, and the white fabric has ended up showing a bit more at the edge. And this isn't something to drive yourself mad on, because trust me, I drove myself mad comparing the two bags to look at. And so I looked at the Kmart bag instead. And when I tell you, I looked at every single bag on the Kmart rack before I picked up a bag which I thought had the most even matching of pattern around side and seam. So I got this one. And the two bags, they're identical on the inside, which is why I was so surprised when I first saw them, until I got this one home and realized how different the pattern sizes are. So they've both got a zip pocket on the inside. The H&M bag doesn't have a phone slip pocket, but the Kmart one does. And as I said, the Kmart one is a lot stiffer than the H&M one. This bends quite inwards. Now, a bag is a bag, and the only thing that I'm still tossing up on is the size of the pattern. So I thought, okay, I'll film this video, then I'll go return this bag because it's the one that I've decided was a bit more expensive and I don't really need two of these similar bags. But now I'm thinking this bag is showing up, the pattern is showing up a lot better on the video, and this one is a much better match for this size. But do I want that, or do I want the larger contrast? So I'll probably think about this for the next couple of days before I finally decide which one I'm going to return. I don't make a habit of buying things and then returning them. I try not to, but it is always helpful to have an option to return something, and I'll talk about that in another video. There's an H&M at a shopping centre quite close to me, as well as Kmart, and there's an H&M and a Kmart in the city where I work. So I have until the 29th to return this, which is 4 or 5 days away. So that's how much time I've got left to decide. And I will film a bit more when I have this whole outfit together. I do have this grand plan of just wearing this to work one day, just waltzing into the office with all my matching patterns. I have seen quite a few people wearing houndstooth recently. It's a classic. I love it. And that's why I'm grateful that this fits me, because Mum didn't know I was going to grow up to fit into it, did she?
I've just gotten home from the shopping centre where H&M and Kmart are. I took both bags with me, hoping that there would be one in H&M that I could potentially exchange for the one that I do already have, in case there was better stitching or better pattern matching on it. Unfortunately, there were none, and so I think I'll give it one more go at the H&M in the city tomorrow when I go in for work. That will mean dragging the bag in with me and home again if it's another fruitless journey, but I guess I'm a bit like a dog with a bone, and I can't let it go until I know I've exhausted all avenues of this is the bag I have. I did ask my mum, the creator of said suit, which one she liked better with it, and she did say the H&M one because she thinks the bigger pattern provides better contrast. And I do agree. I think it looks a lot better, having looked at the footage that I filmed earlier and taken some photos. I really like it. And if the Kmart bag is only $20, I may as well also keep it, but only if I have a purpose for it. Otherwise, it's just going to gather dust when I could, I don't know, put the $20 to something else. So yes, watch this space. You have no choice because it'll probably be the next clip. So I've just got home from work. I did take this into the city today to look in H&M and see if it was any better or worse than the ones that they still have in stock. And I ended up leaving without exchanging it because they all had some kind of little skew-if stitching here and there. So I figured I'd better stick with what I've got. And yeah, now I can put that to rest and officially launch my houndstooth outfit, which I plan to try out now. I did quickly pair it with the skirt and stockings I was already wearing that day just to see how it looked. I might mix and match this in the future, but here is the big reveal. I love it. I just loved how it looked with the shoes and the stockings and the headband. It fits me like it was made for me. Mum is a genius, and I loved it with the bag. I started playing around with my other bags. Yes, it may seem a bit contradictory to agonize over a $45 bag when I have a Celine, but she's pre-loved. Anyway, what do you think?
I'm obsessed.